side of the marble boat. Okay, so too close. Okay, this is so. Previously, we talked about the life of the dragon lady and stories from a Japanese journalist. This book is a very basic knowledge about the dragon lady. This is just a beginning. So I will continue read this book. It was originally written in Japanese, and my version is Chinese, and I will translate to English and share the story with you. Okay. So this chapter is 热河 summer resort, because for the Manchurian, when they ruled China from 1644 to 1911, when they first conquered China, they settled down in Beijing as the capital, and they found out that Beijing is so hot because they're from northeast. It's very cool there. When they come to Beijing, they cannot stand the hot in summer, so they started to build the gardens on the northwest of Beijing, because here there's some spring water in this neighborhood. And you can see the man-made lake behind me. And they built another called Old Summer Palace next door, because this Summer Palace used to be called the Garden of Clear Ripples. Used to be the Royal Gardens, Imperial Gardens. They have 5 gardens here. The Old Summer Palace is the biggest one and the most beautiful one. The Qing Dynasty, they took altogether 150 years to build this massive garden. But unfortunately, it was destroyed by the Anglophone forces in 1860. We have another one. It's about 300 kilometers north east of Beijing. And there's another summer resort, 3 times bigger than Summer Palace. So in this book, on this chapter, 热河 Summer Resort, that's that place. Because when Beijing was captured by the Anglophone forces, the royal family fled to that garden. And here, continue my story. The summer resort in 热河 is become famous for the emperor to escape the summer heat. In 1900, when there's a Boxer's rebellion, because in Japanese there are different ways our Chinese name. Even one incident have a different name. When I got to this word, I don't understand. But it's very challenging for me to interpret a Chinese book. Okay, when the 8th Allied forces attacking Beijing in 1900, the Dragon Lady and the Emperor Guangxu Emperor is the nephew of the Dragon Lady, and they flied away to Xi'an. Today's Xi'an is 120 kilometers from Beijing. You know where the Terracotta Warriors, that's Xi'an. It's a long way. But in 1860, when the Anglophone forces attacking the Emperor Xuanfeng and the Dragon Lady, they flied away to 热河, that's the Chengde city, northwest of Beijing. And so 热河become famous in the Chinese history. The original name of 热河is Chengde. So today we still call that Chengde. It's one city of Hebei province. In 1908, there's 250,000 people there. Today, I don't know, maybe because several million there. It's located on northwest of Beijing, 25 kilometers from the Luanhe River, and it connected to the Dayin Mountain on north, and the east side is another mountain. Southwest is the Yanshan Mountain, and it was a city surrounded by mountains and have a good defensive position. Because of these things, and that become the emperor's shelter. That's not true. Because when I'll give you some information. Because when Manchurian ruled China, and they realized because before Manchurian was the Ming Dynasty, Han people, I'm the Han, and we built the Great Wall to keep the Mongols out. But that was a very long Great Wall, and it took hundreds of years to build, and you need millions of soldiers to guard the wall, and that consumed a lot of money. When the Manchurian became the ruler of China, they realized it doesn't make sense to keep the Mongols out, because the Mongolians are minority, Manchurian minority. So they will use marriage. The emperor of the Manchurian married the Mongolian princess, and the Manchurian princess married the Mongolian dukes, so they become allies. And they don't need to build the Great Wall, but how could they also show the power of the Manchurian to the Mongolians or even Tibetans? So in Chengde City, northwest of Beijing, 300 kilometers, they found a spot where they have a mountain and rivers. They built another summer resort, a beautiful garden, 3 times bigger than the summer palace. It's a huge garden with mountains on the west, grassland in the middle, and the lake, Mami Lake on the south. So the emperor, he would receive the Mongolian dukes and even the Dalai Lama from Tibet. And even before the Opium War, I think it's in 1850 something, the British envoy, his name is his name is I'm getting old. Chinese names. I forgot the name. Terrible. Forget about it. And he was got an order from the Queen Victoria. Yeah. And he traveled all the way to Canton and to Beijing and to Chengde to celebrate the emperor's birthday. So 85 to 80th birthday. So that place is where the emperor received foreign envoys. I will continue my book. In ancient China, and the Zhehe was occupied by the minorities. The Hans. We are the Han. There's a word called we are the HUN. Sorry, we are HAN. There's a word called HUN, Han. They were the nomadics. So it was controlled by the Han, and later by other nomadic tribes. So in the Qing Dynasty, they set up the Zhehe prefecture. 1733, Emperor Yongzheng changed the name to Chengde Prefecture, and this become today's Chengde City. And they set up the emperor's temporary palace there, because the summer in Beijing is super hot. So they moved to the resort in Chengde to escape the summer heat. Similar to the Japanese emperor of another summer resort. I think it's the universal. Even the king in the French king also have a summer palace. It's similar to the royal family around the world. It's the human nature. And mentioned about the Zhehe city, and people think about the Russian blah blah blah. Shenadu, it's kind of summer palace. They located in the Kashmir Peninsula, nice climate, a beautiful scenery, become the Tsar's shelter for colonies. The Tsar Alexander III died in 1900 there, and Nicholas II got sick there. That was in 1908, and there was a hate by the Russian royals. At the same time, the Emperor Daoguang, after the Opium War, and he was scared by the Anglo-French forces, so he stayed in a summer resort in Chengde, and he passed away in 1861. So because the Anglo-French forces attacking Beijing in 1860, and September 10, the emperor flight to the summer resort. The next year, August, he died there. And also, the Russians invade northeast China, and in 1900, there's a Boxer Rebellion and Dragon Lady. They fly away to Xi'an. And here is a plot, and this is a painting of another summer resort in Chengde. Okay, next chapter, the Emperor Xianfeng was in danger. And this painting was not good sun size right now. There's a painting of the Manchurian soldiers fight against the Anglo-French forces in Beijing. Okay, in 1860, Anglo-French forces, there's 21,000 soldiers, including 7,800 British soldiers and 4,800 Indian soldiers. And the French soldiers were 7,500. They make an ally and enter the commander. The British chief commander is Grant, and the French commander is Mindaubat, whatever. And under their order, they fight fiercely with the Chinese soldiers. And in September 18th, Beijing fell down. And Anglo-French forces burned down the Yuanmian Garden. That's the old summer palace. And Emperor Xianfeng and the Dragon Lady with the Hurricane officials, they are escorted by the Hurricane official. They fly away to Zhehe Summer Resort. And there is some journalist from wartime. He recorded the history, and he described as below. Emperor Xianfeng 15th before Anglo-French forces invaded Beijing with other concubines, and the empress, 13 of them escorted by the Hurricane officials and imperial soldiers all the way to the summer resort. And some prince, that is Prince Gong. Prince Gong is emperor's younger brother. Prince Gong stayed in Beijing and negotiate with the invaders. And the other soldiers got the order. When they know about the other soldiers attacking, that prince even fly to Zhehe. And the Emperor Xianfeng was very sick, and one of his legs swallowed. So when he walking, he need a crane, and it's pretty critical. And the 13 concubines and the empress, no children. It's only Dragon Lady. She had a son. That's the emperor's only son, 6-year-old, become the next emperor. Another 5-year-old girl, and the royal family was in trouble. So actually, in the summer resort in Chengde, they were similar to any summer palace. They were well taken care of because they have soldiers and all their necessities was well prepared. So about the details of the Emperor Xianfeng and the Dragon Lady's trouble in Zhehe, people we don't know about it, but we can refer to the king from Deutsch, German king, Emperor Frederick William III. When Napoleon I under attack of Napoleon I, the country was suffering, and he took Louis and the prince flight to. This is similar to any royal family was under attack, and their family would fly away. So the war finished in Beijing on October 10, and they signed Beijing Treaty. But the emperor did not return to Forbidden City right away because the palace in Beijing was robbed and burned down, and they need repair. Emperor cannot go back right away. And the truth is, those time, I have to say invaders. Okay, the Anglo-French forces they decide to burn down Forbidden City, but if they burn down the Forbidden City, emperor never come back to Beijing, and because they don't want to get involved in this mess. You know, China's a big country and so many people. It's not easy to rule. I don't know if it's easy for the British to rule India, but it's hard to rule China. So maybe they know that they still want the emperor come back, but they also want to teach him a lesson. So they leave the Forbidden City and they go to the old summer palace and they loot that garden and they burn down the garden. The garden burned for months because it's a huge garden. Today, if you go to the Louvre Museum or the Great Britain Museum, you'll see a lot of beautiful Chinese art pieces that was from that garden. Because the emperor was afraid of the foreigners, so he could go back to Forbidden City right away, but he was afraid the invaders would come back. And also he had a nice life in another summer resort, so he indulged there. And the emperor and other officials still detained in the summer resort. But the emperor was so weak, and also there's rebellions. Chinese rebellions, and also there's the war continued. So the emperor was exhausted, and he passed away in August 22nd in Zhehe. And his only son followed him, but he was only 7 years old, and he became the Emperor Tongzhi, and the Dragon Lady was his mother. So Dragon Lady and another empress, they become a regent, and since then she became showed off in his political career. This book is very simple. Okay, I'm just practicing my English. And this chapter is Emperor Tongzhi succeeded the throne. Emperor Tongzhi is Dragon Lady's only son. His name is Zaichun. When Emperor Xianfeng passed away in Zhehe Summer Resort, he was only 7 years old. And when the China was eventful, and everybody hoped he could become a smart emperor. But unfortunately, emperor only had one son, so he was the only choice. And the reign title became 同治. 同治 means rule together. That because the empress and the emperor, they rule together. Meanwhile, the long-hair rebellion from South China was unsuppressed. Same year, the Nanjing, South China, Nanjing city, Nanking was occupied by the rebellions, and the havoc, the turmoil all over China. So the emperor's installment ceremony was just in a rush, and the emperor 同治, just like his father, and is an unlucky emperor. So like father, like son. So when he was during his 13 years on the throne, and there's a warfare everywhere. The third year of his reign, the rebellion was suppressed, and the court had a celebration for that, and they rewarded the Han of high-ranking officials. But the world is not peace. After that, some Uyghurs in West China also have rebellion, and also later, Japan invaded Taiwan. When the Emperor 同治 was ruled China, there's no single year was peaceful, and the 13th year of 同治's reign, and he was died of smallpox. So the emperor died of smallpox at 20 years old. But in China, we have some rumors that the emperor always go to the red light district, and he has some dirty disease. But you never know the truth. So Dragon Lady was so sad. And just a couple of years when she entered the court and Emperor Xianfeng passed away, she became a widow at 27 years old, and right now her only son left her. Even she was a strong woman, she's a tough woman, she could not stand this pain. And this is the Emperor 同治 painting. Okay, next chapter. The two regent Empress Dowager. When Emperor 同治 was just 7 years old, he could not handle state affairs by himself, and it was all handled by his mother. Oh, right. His so not real mother. He was also not a stepmother. It's just another empress, and also Dragon Lady. That means the two empresses and the emperor, they ruled China together. Because there's two empresses, so the regent was two. And also in China, because they really important in the Confucianism is the filial piety. So you have to listen to your mother. That's the reason why this happened. So the two ladies, regent, become regent. And it started in Japan. It's just similar, but there's only one empress. So in Japan, in their court, only one empress. Only one empress. So the Qing court is different. Even the emperor's mother was a concubine, and so she could be called empress or empress dowager. So when there's two empresses, and they try to distinguish the two empresses, so they give their different name. So the two empresses ruled China with the same time, and also when there's imperial edict, they always started with get the order from the empress dowager. And in China, it's called 训政. From my understanding, is teaching administration, because the emperor is so young, they don't know how to handle state affairs. So the two empresses teach him. But it's different with monarchy. Okay. And here is the room in the Forbidden City. You can see there's a throne in front. Behind is a curtain, and the two empresses will sit behind the curtain. And next chapter is Dragon Lady's 专制, that word. The word contrary to autonomy. I forgot that word. I used to learn. Okay. Dragon Lady is the supreme power. When the Emperor Tongzhi's reign, the two empresses taught him. So we call them Eastern Empress and Western Empress. Dragon Lady was the Western Empress. Complicated. Because Dragon Lady was the Emperor's mother, so she was superior than the other Empress. But the other Empress is the first wife of the Emperor. So, because that Empress is so weak, Dragon Lady is so smart. So, for the state affairs, basically it's at Dragon Lady's call. She ruled China alone. Especially the other Empress is so gentle and not ambitious politically. So every day she was just reading books, learning literature. And the Dragon Lady, she was not only talented, but she was also eager about politics. So in 1881, when the other Empress passed away, and she was the only one in the center of the political stage in China. But beside the other Empress passed away ridiculously, and there's a different kind of rumors. And this book side, they are not true. But those two empresses are different characters. They said there's no conflict between them, so she should die naturally. But in our not real history book, inside the emperor, Dragon Lady's husband, he was when he almost dying, he gave one order to his first wife. They said, if one day Dragon Lady do not respect you, you could use my order to kill her. And one of the eunuchs heard of this, and he reported to the Dragon Lady. The Dragon Lady was afraid of one day the Empress kill her. So she cheat her and get the order and set her up and make her to burn that imperial edict voluntarily. So later she passed away. We never know the truth. but she died in sudden. The next chapter is Dragon Lady and Prince Kong. Prince Kong is a very important prince in the Qing dynasty. Only prince normally when the emperor before he died, he will appoint the crown prince. But Prince Gong was his name was also written on the emperor's will. He said his number 4th son will become emperor, and his number 6th son will become a prince. So he was writing his last will. So that was Dragon Lady already controlled China for 46 years, and she had supreme power. And during those years, she once returned the power to Emperor Guangxu, that's her nephew. But that was only outside. She never gave up the real power. So the emperor was only become a puppet, and everything she had to obey Dragon Lady's order. And in this book, it said the Dragon Lady is an outstanding female politician. A lot of kiss eyes. And the foreigner said that she was the most smart emperor since their second emperor of the Qing dynasty. They said it's not all flatterers. They are all flatterers. Since her regent, she took advantage of different powers and manipulate them and to deal with state affairs. And one of them, the most important one, is Prince Kong. Prince Kong is Emperor Daguang's the 6th son and Emperor Xianfeng's younger brother. Dragon Lady found he was experienced and he was a very talented Manchurian noble, with among other Manchurian princes, but he was the most talented one. So Dragon Lady found Prince Kong's benefit, so she made ally with him. So when her husband, the Emperor Xianfeng, was very weak, and he took the state affairs to Prince Gong, especially the negotiation with Anglo-French forces. That were all dealt by Prince Gong. So in 1860 December, they set up the Foreign Affairs Department. Prince Gong became the prime minister, and he was so influential and powerful. So the real power of the Qing Empire in China was fell in his hands. When Dragon Lady was just regent, there's a lot of things that she could not do. So she take good care of Prince Gong. And when her husband, the Emperor Xianfeng's funeral, and Dragon Lady condemned Prince Gong and said he made some mistake. And in 1865, and he found one excuse to kick Prince Gong out of the court. And not long later, and he was resumed to his post. So Dragon Lady could play Prince Gong in his hands. And later, the trouble between them become deeper and deeper. 1884, Dragon Lady abolished all the posts of Prince Kong. And 1898, Prince Kong passed away. Next chapter is Dragon Lady and the other heroes. Other heroes, that means some Chinese hierarchy officials. As we all know, Dragon Lady has a special ability to ride people. In Chinese, it's called 驭人之术, the secret of riding people. She manipulates some high-ranking Han officials in her hands, and they all subject to her, and that is not easy. When there's long-hair rebellions, there's a turmoil in China, and rumors say that every heroes will emerge. So that heroes appeared in China. So most of them are not easy to control. So when the emperor was young, and the Dragon Lady, they were women, but she couldn't made it. And those Han officials didn't show any dissatisfaction. They all loyal to her voluntarily. So the political situation became complicated at those times, and the government organization is not simple. So first, they have to coordinate the Manchurian and Han officials. If there's not, they cannot keep the balance between the Manchurian official and the Han official, there will be conflict, and even the Manchurian court could be turned over. So even in the Han officials, they have a different sect. They were all from different provinces, so different sect even today. From their leading policy, there are also some conservative sect, and also some advanced sect, some radical sect, some slow progress sect, and it's different with the Japanese politicians. If the Qing court could united all the officials, is a great achievement. So there's some mistake. There was some mistake, but Dragon Lady, being as a woman, she could standing on the political stage for 46 years. It's a miracle. Okay, I think that's all for today. Bye.